Men who are dating very attractive women, what is it like? I used to date someone way more attractive than me back in the day, and I could recognize the look from other guys sometimes saying something like, what the F is she doing with him? I think it's a fact that we size up the value of a man based on how attractive his girl is. There are some occasions where I see a 10 with a 5 and I'm like, WTF am I doing wrong lol. A great example is Larry from Parks and Rec. It's different. Guys will approach. Had guys try to sit down to dinner with us. When I'd go to the bathroom I'd come back to guys talking to her. It was funny and flattering. Certainly helps you realize some people have a different life experience. Wait. Random dudes will just try to join you at dinner? That's F wild. How does that go over? You just tell them, dude, we're trying to have dinner here. Or something. Slip them the bill, infinite free dinner hack. She's my VIP access. Honeymoon treatment on vacations. Less wait on drinks and service. She even got discounts on a suit for me when negotiating with the tailor. Would recommend. You better not be the least bit insecure, or you won't last. And you better be prepared to stare down and stand off with a lot of aggressive apes. Because other men will frequently approach and be very aggressive. You sometimes have to run them off when they refuse to take a hint. The upside is that it is easier to get into clubs, get good seats in restaurants, and she is frequently being offered VIP treatment. The downside is that you are often treated by other people as if you are a hideous parasite that happens to be attached to her. Jesus. What a ref downside, hahaha. Everyone has a soft, read, snide comment about how my so is way out of my league. I couldn't agree more. I smile and stand tall. I love hearing these things. I hope you remain good to her. So many guys will stare. Some will scream something like, take care of that beautiful lady. And when I'm not there, even if it's for a few minutes, guys will approach. Lots of women will give her compliments everywhere we go. My ex-girlfriend straight up told her that she was jealous and how I had upgraded from her. Was an awkward conversation for sure. Had a dude go up to my wife when we were at a club and tried to dance with her immediately after we were dancing together, and I went to get drinks. Understandable. He was shooting his shot. My wife told him she's married and showed him the bigger rock on her hand in case he missed it. It did not deter him. I came back and he's still trying to talk to her. Then tells me I'm a lucky man and goes away. I walk away for a minute and he's instantly back. Still trying. When we were waiting for our Uber at the end of the night, he was there, now in front of me, still telling her he wants to holler at her and to come home with him. Then he tells my wife she should compare our dicks to make her choice on who she wants to leave with. Fucking wild what some dudes will do. It can be annoying. People literally walk up to her and ask her who that guy with her is. There's been a bar fight where a guy came to our table to chat her up and refused to leave. Thankfully, I'm capable. On the other hand, I use her pretty privilege to get things done. I didn't marry for looks. I just got lucky. We met on IMDb about 20 years ago, just casually discussing a TV show on the forums. We had pseudonyms and all. Total fluke. IMDb is the wildest way I've had anybody meeting someone else online. The very attractive women I dated and grew up around were always more insecure than the average women walking around. That's one thing I noticed. They just have that validation aspect of everyone around them wanting to be with them as a factor to look at and ignore the rest. But many of them, when I got to know them, would literally dissect every little thing on themselves. And then on the flip side they would be also extremely confident. It was a real mental tightrope they were walking. But that was just some of them. The rest were pretty cool. Just had to deal with men telling me how lucky I am, or better take care of that lady of yours. I would go to the bar to get us a drink while she holds the table and I come back and there's a guy there talking to her. It was just normal shit. It didn't bother me too much. Summed up my head. Mental tightrope. From picking at invisible things that you can't see on your face at home to being on top form in the room. My GFs were all more attractive than me. Some significantly so. I'm short and baby faced. Guys would often try to steal them right in front of me. It never worked. Not even once. The kind of guy who try to steal your girl is usually transparently creepy and beautiful women get that every day. Authenticity is rare with a physically beautiful woman and they seem to appreciate that. Don't get me wrong. That alone isn't enough. But it's a great introduction. I enjoyed her company. And her looks. She apparently found random men don't approach her. Because her good looks are too intimidating. As for me, I just hugged her out of the blue. In a bar. Because I genuinely thought she was someone else. I was very apologetic. But we had a good conversation. And hung out for a few months. That's a sweet story. Well, I married her. But in the beginning there were multiple other dudes who wanted to be with her. So I said something like that's fine. You can date around if you want. But I'm not going to be one of your options if you do. She rejected all the other guys and the rest is history. It's pretty great. She likes lots of intimacy. We've got 4 kids now and recently celebrated our 8th wedding anniversary. Couldn't ask for more. W. I dated a super beautiful one for a few years. The number one thing I noticed was the attention from other women toward her. My girl was straight up intimidating with her looks. So it was fun to see some girls go over the top with the I'm bubbly and fun or the opposite with silent cowering. Fascinating. On the surface, people saw that she was bigger and taller than me, which also garnered some interesting responses in the form of looks from strangers and sometimes random sweeters trying to usurp me, those FKN wolves. My wife gets hit on all the time. She has a very distinct look and is heavily tattooed, so she attracts a lot of attention. Honestly, it doesn't bother me at all. If anything continues past her rejection of these dudes gets me a little heated, as in they won't leave her alone after she's told them she's not interested, because I don't take people disrespecting my wife well at all, and I find it disrespectful of them to keep hitting on her after she told them to stop. But other than that, it usually gives us a good laugh. If you want a wife who is attractive, better be able to handle that kind of thing. Edit. People are dumb. Or reminds me of my partner. I tell him when guys stop their cars while I'm going into the grocery store or being stopped getting gas. Last week I had to stop studying at a coffee shop because I showed him a guy was videoing me and recording me while I was studying and then got up to the bathroom. I know it stresses him out, but I tell him because I tell him everything. Would you prefer your wife not share? I'm not trying to make him mad. Some men just are creepy or don't take him in a relationship as an answer. I'm dating one now and have dated 2 other hyper attractive women in the past. Men test my boundaries a little more. What do you do when they test it? I've been this guy before. Guys would chat up my girl all the time. Unless you're dismissive and a little sarcastic with them, you'll come off as insecure. There isn't really a winning move aside from treating them like a child. Call them buddy/bud etc. I don't know if this counts. She intentionally dropped herself from an 8+ to a 6ish. Dresses grandma style. Short hair. No makeup. Ugly glasses. An absolute stunner when we are in the shower. And then she gets dressed. She's like a sleeper car. That's even better. For real. She purposefully dropped her rank to secure the relationship. That's primo. Her male friends from before the relationship can be really weird. Your own male friends from before the relationship can be really weird. The haters come out and can be relentless. They will attribute your success to anything but your value. Dumb luck, tricks, or looks, no brains etc. In my experience I was treated like I was simultaneously a total himbo dum dum, but also a mastermind of evil female manipulation. The worst behavior came from older men with money and little personality who were interested in my lady, and younger women who were interested in me. The worst behavior came from older men with money and little personality who were interested in my lady. Oh Lord almighty. That gave me such severe flashbacks that I had to lean back in my chair to regain composure. Guys our age. Just a good laugh for us. Charming. Older. Rich fucks. Literally the bane of my existence. She tells me about all the men that hit on her, and it's hard to hear, but I trust her. Mine is the same, except she just thinks they're being nice. She's too innocent and not interested to even notice half the time. That's probably the most annoying part. My GF is also somewhat naive, and it's annoying for me as well. A lot of the time she can't recognize why men are being overly generous to her. Some attractive women are accustomed to having everything in their immediate surroundings be centered on their desires and intentions. In my experience, it's best to carefully vet their level of narcissistic tendencies before engaging in a romantic relationship. Occasionally I wonder to myself, why the F is she deciding to be with me, and then I schedule some therapy. Because I'm F awesome.